Blog Talk Radio.
Something's gone wrong. For all our vigilance and battle-scarred up with those rights, if we let the flame of freedom's torch grow cold, because there can be no torch to pass where there's no flame. Freedom has only one enemy it cannot defeat, and that is negligence. So your presence here, now, today, is an act of reverence. Of all man's works beneath the heavens, none shines brighter than our Constitution. I think Jefferson and Paine, Adams, Madison, Mason, Franklin, I think they're looking down right now at us. I think they understand what we're trying to do, what we strive to do. Every time our country stands in the path of danger, an instinct seems to summon her finest first, those who truly understand her. When freedom shivers in the cold shadow of true peril, it's always the patriots who first hear the call. When loss of liberty is looming, as it is now, the siren sounds first in the hearts of freedom's vanguard.
Good evening, everybody. This is Joe Joseph. Welcome again to another edition of Freedomlink Radio here on October 31st, 2010. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys in the chat room have opted not to partake in the All Hallows Eve holiday. And with that said, boy, oh boy, John, do we have a lot to discuss tonight, don't we?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We're getting down to 0 hour as far as several things go, Joe, and I think we need to get into some of that stuff.
Well, I agree, man. But the first thing I want to do before we do anything or get into it is basically is sound the alarm, because it is absolutely the week where all hell can break loose and or nothing can happen. So with that said, I just want I love using sound effects. Every once in a while, it's good to just bring them out, you know what I mean? But there's so many things that are in play right now, and any one can be the tipping point, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. On one hand, we got the economy. On the other hand, we got a war with Iran and Afghanistan and Iraq and the whole Middle East exploding. We got the BP Gulf situation. It can come in so many different directions from the powers that be that you actually have to. It's mind numbing. I mean, you actually have to be alert and be looking in 20 different directions all at the same time. And just when you think you've got everything covered, they come at you again with something else.
Yeah, with like toner cartridge bombs.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, are they getting that desperate, John, to where they have to come up with something that's in a toner cartridge? I mean, did you see it? Like made of tape, paper clips, and bubble gum.
Yeah, well, I thought the good boys at the CIA, FBI, and all the other little ABC organizations around the world would be able to create a better bomb than that. That looks like something that was created during craft time for a preschool.
Hey, Johnny, guess who's here?
Does his name start with a G? I seen him pop in.
It does. The Grifster is here. What's up, Griff?
Oh, not too much. I was in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd drop by for a few minutes.
Gee whiz, that's spectacular. You know, John and I were just first of all, I used the Star Trek alarm, the red alert alarm, and because I know every once in a while you have that Star Trek reference, and I thought, you know, that would be good. You get a kick out of it, but you weren't here when I used it.
I'm sorry. You know, you mentioned the Star Trek thing, and I just feel compelled to say I use the same little stories over and over and over, and people still don't get it.
I know. I know. Well, I got to do it. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. I feel so much
Battle
better.
stations.
And really it is. Think about it. Here we go, man. Tomorrow's November 1st.
That's right. Let it be done.
That's right. Absolutely.
Let's all go down to the holodeck.
I'm game.
Isn't that where we're living? I mean, reality.
I honestly believe we're in the holodeck right now.
I agree.
I agree. The reality's on the other side of the wall, and this is all an illusion created for us from the powers that be.
Griff, I got something to tell you real quick, and it goes along the lines of your question. What is a dollar, right? Well,
yes.
I posed it to my all-loving Swami, my father, and of course I said, "Well, what's a dollar?" And in the end, he couldn't answer what that was. I said, well, what is it? If I take a Federal Reserve note and I go to the bank and I say, I want the equivalent of what this promises me in dollars, what do I get? And he says, it's irrelevant. I said, well, how is it irrelevant? He says, because that note is backed by the full faith and credit of the United States.
And what does that mean?
That's what I said. And he says, that's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is everybody uses it, so who cares?
He never answered your question, though.
He couldn't answer my question.
Well, I know that. That's what I've been saying for years. Nobody can answer that question. I've tried. I've written letters to governments. I've been on the phone and written letters to the Federal Reserve all the way in Washington. I had one of the secretaries in Washington. She got so interested in my question, she said she walked the halls of the Federal Reserve, stopping at every office, and no one, not even the legal department, could answer the question.
Yeah, but in the end, I gave him that. Yes, you're right. At this point in time, does it really matter? Not exactly. I mean, if you're a smart enough fella, and you don't hold everything that you own in Federal Reserve notes, then I guess it really wouldn't matter too much.
It matters in that that's what got us here, or that's what allowed people to manipulate and to bring us to this point. And it's I guess at this point it's just an educational thing for people that don't understand how they've been screwed to the wall by a piece of paper, and they work all of their lives for a piece of paper that nobody knows what it is.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And another scheme, I guess you could say, in the many schemes, and just to show you that we truly live on the holodeck. It's just one of those things.
Let's ask some of the callers tonight about that and see if they begin to understand what we've been saying for a long time.
Sure. Anybody that wants to chime in, the number 646-727-3387. If you've noticed, I haven't had any guests scheduled for the shows here, and that's simply because with our new format that's going to be coming online in the next week or so, I didn't want to throw anybody off or schedule any guests and have it change or anything like that. So until we get everything firmed up, it's going to be it's going to be like a spitball session. So I encourage you guys, if you have anything to say, no matter what you want to sound off, give us a call. The number 646-727-3387. Now, John, I know there was plenty of stuff that you wanted to talk about today, so away you go.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Everybody, if you're out there and you're saying your piece and you don't feel like you're getting heard, now is the time to call in and say your piece. Do you got a beef with the elites or the election process or what's going on? Call in and let us know about it. It's time. It's high time that the people sound off. And you know what? This really gets me. That I ran across an article today that I surfed through before it's news and found a former child soldier was sentenced to 8 years at Gitmo, but that's not what really got under my skin. What really got under my skin was that they plea bargained with him. He should have gotten 40 years for war crimes, and he's only doing 8. And the jury was never told this, that the plea bargain was reached before they went in to deliberate and found this person guilty. This person's name is, it's hard to pronounce, Omar Khadr, Khadr, Khadr. He is now 24 years old, and he was found guilty on 5 war crimes. They plea bargained with him. Do you understand? Now I understand why drinking with Bob, why Bob gets so frustrated where it sounds like he's about ready to pop a blood vessel in his head. They're plea bargaining with the terrorists. Blow up a platoon of Army soldiers? Oh, that's okay. We'll plea bargain it down from the rest of your life or beheading. We'll give you a $250 fine and slap you on the wrist, and don't you be a bad boy anymore.
But what does it matter? Because it's all fake anyway, isn't it? It's not that it's fake. I just say it's not what they're selling it as. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you say, Griff? It's like everything else. The whole terrorism thing. I would wager to say that the Federal Reserve, the board of directors, or whatever you want to call them, of the Federal Reserve, are more terrorists than the Arabs are. Wouldn't you say, Griff?
Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, for the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. That was a poem, one of my favorites. Psalm of Life is the name of that, and it goes on and on about reality and what we can do in a lifetime. Well, it's all a charade out there. The government is lying to us every time they say something. Mm-hmm. The Gulf situation is one enormous lie, getting worse by the second, and we're not hearing anything. Don't trust the government. They've lied to us repeatedly. And repeatedly, and over. Why should we ever trust anything that comes from the government or the press? Why should we believe it?
No, you're absolutely right. I don't know. I can't justify it myself. You know, it amazes me that we've been able to go on this long without everything imploding on itself. For some strange reason, I mean, things have been held together now with duct tape and paper clips, much like that toner cartridge bomb. And I mean, we're really at a point where I cannot see us digging ourselves out from this one, you know. And if
no,
it's
I don't think we are.
Yeah, if it's not this, Griff, then it's going to be something else. Mm-hmm. There's just so many things in play right now. Did you get a chance to read that Delta more thoroughly? Because I would like to talk about that.
Your audio is breaking up, Joe, and I missed two or three key words in your question.
Oh, I said, did you get the opportunity to read the Alta?
Yes, I have not studied it, but I've read it a couple times.
Okay, I was wondering. I mean, do you know enough to go over it now? The latest and greatest information.
Sure. We can hit the high spots from my memory. Mm-hmm. I don't have any notes or any computer or anything in front of me to remind me of the points, but the latest from Cliff High on his website in the report, he is still speculating about the November 8th, 11th period. Mm-hmm. He may know, but he's not putting it out if he does know. But he is saying that information coming in through the computer now in the last 3 days would indicate that major manipulation is in the stock market, mm-hmm. and implying that could very well be the beginning of the tipping point in the stock market on November 8th, 11th, but did not say for absolute certainty. Everything else he's mentioned is still on the table. Mm-hmm. The war between every time I say that, WAR, I remember Dr. Douglas Southall Freeman, the great historian of the 1940s, 30s, and 40s. Dr. Freeman had 25 PhD honorary degrees and a PhD from Columbia. Imagine having 25 honorary degrees.
How many stripes?
I can't imagine it.
How many stripes is that on the sleeve?
Oh, it goes down from the sleeve to the pants.
Hey,
his father was a Civil War soldier, and he was the editor of the newspaper here in Richmond for many years. He died in 1953, buried at Hollywood Cemetery here in Richmond. Every time I go out there, I stop and salute his grave and put a Confederate flag on it. He said war. He was from Lynchburg, Virginia, and they couldn't pronounce WAR.
Right.
I think of that when I say that word.
Now let me say this. Now you were talking about market volatility, right?
Yes.
CNBC just put out an article